Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today we have with us Adoptive Golf. Please hurry back and join us. Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today we have with us Adaptive Golf representatives Monica Hoppenstricker and Joe Porfilio. Hi, Joe. Hi, Monica.
Hello.
How are you? Good. Monica, we normally start off in a different way, which usually we ask a particular question. But what I need to start off with you on is tell us what agency that you're with, because I know that Adaptive Golf is part of a program of what?
The Flint area.
Okay.
I work for McLaren Regional Medical Center. I'm a recreational therapist. I work with several golf pros in the Flint area, as well as Joe, who's from Pontiac area. We work together to provide adaptive golf for anybody in our immediate area and the surrounding areas. We work with City of Flint golf professionals as well as Inside Swing Sports Dome. So together, all of us together run the program.
Okay, and Joe, you're part of this agency by what means?
Well, I guess personally I started off originally from high school into physical therapy for 3 years. And then when I became a professional 8 years ago, I think it was a year or so after that, I got involved with Monica, and we developed our own clinic to help the therapists in the area and to get involved with the disabled people to help them.
Okay,
their
and
golf
you're
games.
a PGA professional golfer. Where at?
Carl's Golfland, Bloomfield Hills.
Okay. Okay. And so now, how did you two come together?
Well, what happened was when we started, I had a father who had Parkinson's disease, and he belonged to a country club, and there was nobody golf professional-wise that could assist him in modifying his swing so he could continue with the game. So since he couldn't do it like he did, he just gave it up. And it frustrated me as a recreation therapist because I wanted his quality of life to be good, but once he couldn't do his main leisure interest, he got a lot of depression, a lot of problems going on. So even if I couldn't help him, because your own father isn't going to listen to a daughter as far as that type of thing, but I thought if I could at least make sure that the golf professionals in the surrounding area were trained in adaptive golf, if nobody else had the excuse that there was nobody to help them. If they want the help, they can go get it. And so what I did was I contacted the national organization, which is National Amputee Golf Association, and asked them if they would come and lead their clinic First Swing in the Flint area, and they did, and that was 5.5, almost 6 years ago. They did that for us. They came out. All we had to do was host it from McLaren. They ran the whole clinic, and it's sponsored by a lot of people that they work with. So they literally come in and lead the clinic free for you.
Okay.
Joe and Greg, the two main golf pros that work with us, were at that first clinic.
Okay.
They came to attend it.
Okay. So you actually, do you consider yourself the founder of Adaptive Golf, or?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Adaptive golf has been around for many years. We just jumped on the bandwagon as it was heading by.
I remember 8 years ago when I went to a national educational seminar for the PGA. Part of the 2-day workshop had adaptive golf for 2 or 3 hours in there to help the professionals educate them on how they could help out. And,
okay.
So it's been around.
You find it gratifying, Joe, to be able to help out in that manner?
Very much so.
Okay.
Whether it's someone with a disability or just in general.
Okay. Okay. Now, Monica, is there a certain age criteria or?
For our clinic people?
Yes.
No, we have a youngster who's 8 years old on our league, and we have one that's probably close to like the late 80s on our league. So we have the full realm. There's no limit to who we will help. It's just a matter of who hears about the clinic and who comes to join in.
Okay. Now, when you say persons with disabilities, are there a range of disabilities that persons come in?
We've got to make the split between people who just cannot golf because they don't have the talent, and people who physically or for another reason cannot golf or can't get back to it. There is a definite split there. I have people who call me and say, no matter how much they try to help me, I just can't do it. Well, some people just can't do the game. But there are those that have had a spinal cord injury, a head injury, a hip replacement, a knee replacement. They have visual problems. They might have perceptual or hearing problems. almost heart problems, so they can't get around a regular course as far as walking. There's a lot of reasons why people cannot get back to the game. And we have hit, with multiple sclerosis and spinal cord injury, I mean, we've hit almost everything has come through our clinic. And every year we have one, we get that many more, so we just keep getting more experience in that area. But each person we deal with is an individual. So we can take the stuff that we had and apply it to the people, and then they help us and teach us some more.
I think just about every person who plays, whether there's actual disability or not, somehow we're adapting for their individuality and their style of a swing. And it could be anything.
Okay. So in the event that someone approaches you and say that they want to learn golf, mainly if it's a person with a disability, do you find it a challenge to work with someone with a disability, Joe?
Yes, sometimes no more of a challenge than someone that without a disability. I think you take the individual, you assess what they want, what kind of goals they want, what their expectations are, and make it an enjoyable experience for them, whatever that could be. It could be just going to the range where we want to get the ball in the air and hit it out on the range, and that would be it, versus someone whose goal is to want to get to the golf course and make it around the golf course and play, whether they keep track of their score or not.
Okay.
He brings up an interesting point. One thing that Joe and I have always believed strongly in is the psychology of the sport. We don't just take people in our clinics, walk them up and say, okay, you have trouble holding on the club, here's a glove, do it. We sit down and talk with them as long as we can. If we have a private lesson or a private session, we could do up to a half an hour of talking to them before we ever put a glove or a club in their hand. But we do as much as we can at the clinic and give them the time to find out what their expectations are, what their acceptance of their limitations are, and what their knowledge of their strengths are, so that we know how to put it all together to help them have a successful experience as possible.
Especially for a previous golfer who's, for whatever reason, now is coming back different, and it could be a low handicap golfer in the past, and depending on how they accept their disability, depends on whether they should continue or not.
Right. Okay. How does one seek your services out, though? How does one become aware of the clinic?
Sometimes it's like a publicity like this type of show. Sometimes it's like the national organization is aware of us, so when they have, for example, when they have somebody with an amputee that they hear about in the Michigan area at all, they will point out all the programs that they're aware of in the Michigan area that work on adaptive golf. And they'll give us the names, and then we'll contact that person. We have people that, we have commercials off our clinics or our tournaments or little 1-minute spots, and people who weren't involved last year might get involved the next year because they see about it or hear about it. And organizations like, you know, Center for Visually Impaired Center, Arthritis Foundation, all those areas are aware of us now as an organization. They know one or the other of all of us, and they will tell us about it, and we'll pass names back and forth.
Definitely word of mouth. I had a therapist call me from Cottage Hospital, and I think it's in Grosse Pointe, and he was interested in getting started a clinic for himself on his own. He asked me if I would at least set things up for him so he could do a weekly thing for his people. And I asked him how he got my name, and I think it was through our clinics that we've done, and just word of mouth.
I think it sounds like it's very therapeutic. So, you know, not only just therapeutic, but gratifying in two ways, and more or less to give a person a chance to either rekindle or reacquaint themselves with a game that they probably could play so well or loved at one time, or basically just to learn how to play. So in the event that you're working with a person with a disability especially, are there more wheelchair recipients at this point in playing, or?
I'd say the majority of the people that I've dealt with, at least recently, are stroke survivors. Also joint replacement, especially knee or hip.
Okay.
You know, we have a variety of all of them, but it just, you know, it varies in how many we have. The majority would be the stroke survivors, I think, as far as, or the people with heart attacks that want to slow down or learn a different way to swing so they don't cause problems.
I can't even, stroke's probably number one, but I've seen there's an equal variety, very equal.
We see young people that are just newly disabled, or old people newly disabled, or people that are young that have been disabled since birth, and older people disabled since birth. So you've got a total range of acceptance of what they're dealing with.
Arthritis. big thing. Maybe that's
huge.
number one.
Right.
because
Yeah, that's
now
right.
there's
I think even over stroke.
a lot of limitations with that, which we can work our way through.
Okay. Well, Monica, I noticed that you had provided us with some footage from last year's, what was that? It was
The program, an overall program.
Okay. So let's take a look at that footage and then discuss it right after that.
Okay.
Okay.
So Marcia, now you're seeing footage of our clinics that we offer. This one is our outdoor clinic at Pierce Park Golf Course where we actually hold our league. We work with the therapists on the right, as you can see, and our challenge golfers on the left. We work in teams. That's Joe Portfolio right there as part of our clinic, instructing. We have a variety of people that are wheelchair level, amputee, arthritis, you name it. There's one of the therapists helping one of our wheelchair golfers. She golfed with her dad in the last 2 years of the league. And she ended up golfing out of a golf cart. But she's practicing from her chair at this level. She actually got a par 3 before I ever got a par 3 at this course. Again, more footage of the different clinic techniques. This is in Wisconsin where we held a clinic for our Midwest therapeutic recreation specialists, and you see that the gentleman there is a representative of electric mobility. He does the Golf Express cart, and you'll see him maneuvering around in that cart. This is a gentleman by the name of Danny Baker, and he actually plays out of this cart on all the courses that allow golf carts on. So he plays across the country in this cart as well as being to demonstrate it. And he has difficulty with walking, thus he uses a wheelchair usually, but he's able to use this one-man cart. And we are at Lake Geneva in Wisconsin at this shot. Beautiful tee, I should say beautiful driving range. And he was one of our instructors at our clinic for us.
Wow, Monica, that was a very interesting piece there. I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to go to a commercial break, and then we're going to come back and talk about that footage as well as the items that you have here on the table. We'll be right back.
Remember how good it felt the first time you gave 5? Well, now there's another way to give 5. Set a goal to give more. 5 hours a week and 5% of your income to the causes you care about. It'll make you feel like a winner every day of your life. So give more. Give 5. Call 1-800-55-GIVE-5.
Hi, and welcome back to the second half of the show. I'm Marsha Florence with Just Ask. If you're just not joining us, we have Adaptive Golf. Please sit back and enjoy us. Hey, let's go back to the scene where we're going to talk about the footage that we just saw. We know that we talked about it, but there was a questionnaire that I had about the mobile chair.
The golf cart that the gentleman was sitting on. Electric Mobility has a golf cart called Golf Express, and there's more than one golf cart available. There's like 3 or 4 different companies that we're aware of that have them. They're designed for a one-person user. They store their golf clubs in the front. They're able to sit, maneuver around, do everything independently, and the golf cart is light enough that they can take it on the fairway, tees, and greens of the courses that accept that now.
Okay.
That's not acceptable everywhere, but the places that do allow it, they're more lightweight, larger tires, so they're safer. They do less damage to the golf course.
So they're actually portable. Those.
Well, usually they're carts that they would either purchase or they would have at a facility so people could rent them out and use them.
Oh, okay.
Just like a regular golf cart.
All right. So
it's just a one-man.
Does that cut out the caddy?
Cuts out the gap.
Okay. I was just wondering about that. Okay. Now, I noticed the young lady in the wheelchair. Okay. I wanted to ask you, I noticed that she had a good grip on the golf club. So something tells me she had one of these devices here on the table.
No, she actually didn't need to utilize the device. Her injury is a spinal cord injury. She's a paraplegic.
Okay.
So she has weakness from the waist down. So her modification primarily is doing it just from a sitting position.
Okay.
So she actually had her grasp, and she was doing a one-arm swing like you would from a golf cart or from a chair. But she is using actually a shorter club because she was closer to the ground, and it was to modify that way.
Well, would you two be more than willing to show us some of these devices and tell us what you have here?
Well, I just wanted to say, it was funny, I was looking at this equipment and amazing. Every time when we do a scenario like this, more and more things fill the table as we meet more people and we get more people to introduce things. So we'll go through them, but the very first thing we ever started with was duct tape, because duct tape is a phenomenal, using an ace wrap bandage and then duct tape around it helps a person to hold on to it. That's a temporary modification till we can fabricate something. If you could hand me that one, Marcia, I'll show you more. This was the first, a gentleman that worked with us, who was our first wheelchair golfer in Flint, made this splint himself out of a fabricated, like they would use in therapy, molds and stuff, to hold the club so he could swing because he had no wrist control. And by holding onto the chair, he could then swing the club. Wow. We started out by putting an ace wrap bandage in this around him in the clinic. He molded this, and one of the gentlemen that works with us is an orthotist, saw this and said, hey, this is great, but we can do it a step better. Took him into his office and at his own cost and his own time helped him fabricate another one that he now utilizes on the golf course on a regular basis.
All right. Okay, that's different. Okay.
I think the gripping is the only link we have to the golf club is the grip. And I think the gloves start to become very important as far as help get a handle on the club. Strength, arthritis, whether it's the Velcro, I don't even have to hold on to it and it's there. It's not going to come out of my hands. And that's, I think, the fear is not having enough strength or to hold on to the golf. It's going to fly out of our hands. And as soon as we squeeze too tight, we stop the moving of the club.
So the Velcro of the glove. It's the Velcro.
There's Velcro.
Can we get a good shot of that Velcro of the glove? Let's get a good shot of that.
So instead of my fingers needing to hold it, I got the strap. I'm closed in.
That's nice.
Now that was actually commercially available for a while. They stopped producing it, but therapists at almost every rehab facility can fabricate that with different splinting materials and different. They now have Velcro that's actually stretchable Velcro. So we actually did a step better where we put a strap in one direction, strap in the other, so we actually have even more grip strength because we keep improving it as we go. Keep changing and modifying.
And like we talked about earlier, everyone's different. I feel like you make things up as you go along to adapt. To
you primarily do. There's no cookbook that says you have this diagnosis and this disability, you need this. It doesn't work that way.
So everyone is different.
Trial and error with every single person.
This has the Velcro and attachments to the club where it sticks on there.
This is our newest glove. It's called Global Glove. It was designed by a gentleman from the Burton area. Darren
that is strong.
wanted to he wanted to help his grandfather, who had weakness from arthritis as well as other things, be able to hold on to the club, and he went back to his regular game. And actually a higher score utilizing a glove similar to that.
Now I noticed the different sizes and the clubs and everything. What about the weight of the club? Does that matter? If are these clubs pretty heavy or something?
That's a lightweight. This is the newest golf club. It's funny that you should bring that one up because this is called the RTS system. This was designed by a company that wanted people who are sitting in a wheelchair or sitting in a golf cart to golf, like the gentleman you saw. He was using a club very similar to this. What happens is if you look at the hosel right here, in most golf clubs, they're like about this angle. This one is pointed all the way down the ground. So if it was flat on the surface, you see it would reach down to somebody in a chair.
So it's flatter.
Otherwise, if you show
more
them
vertical golf clubs, they swing more up and down for someone standing.
This would be more up in the air if they were sitting down, and it wouldn't work.
If you're sitting, the shaft of the golf club has to lean more on its side.
Whereas, see, this one is flat down there because it's already in that. The torque is already in that design. And they're lightweight, they're flexible shafts, so a person who has less strength or less mobility to move is able to hit the ball farther.
So they're lightweight compared to the normal ones?
Yeah.
The ones
because they're graphite shafts.
This is real light.
And the shaft does flex.
You could practically bend it in half if you pushed it hard enough.
So I can actually go out there and do my thing.
Actually?
And never go wrong.
Yeah. We didn't say that.
We like to all say that.
What is this piece right here? Can we get this?
Now this was an interesting device. Now, you can always learn from other people if you listen, right? This is an old device they've had around for a long time that it's sold to put on the back of your putter. So if you don't want to reach down and get your ball out of the hole, you stick it down and get your ball, right? And so what happened is the girls that I golf with, one of the girls you saw in the film, actually, she was the one that was sitting in the golf cart golfing. She said, well, I want to be able to drive my golf cart, and I can't use my legs. She had multiple sclerosis, so how can I drive a golf cart? Well, she started out by putting this on the end of her putter and using her golf club to hit the brake and the accelerator with. But what happened is your golf club will bend. It has give to it.
Eventually, okay.
So that didn't work for her. So she went out and got this dowel rod and stuck this on it. So she actually drives with this as well because it holds on the very edge of the gas or the brake pedal. So she drives with this, gets her ball out of the hole or off the ground, tees up, sets it back in the club, and off she goes.
All in the same. Okay.
Totally. So she designed it. We call it our ball picker up or driver stick.
Okay.
But really, this is not a commercially available. This is something that somebody designed locally that works, and we actually give it away as a prize at our tournaments and clinics and stuff. And I'll tell you, it's almost the first thing gone every time.
So it actually can go in the hole and grip the ball.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so it's like a suction
Exactly.
cup.
Down it
Okay.
goes.
Okay, that's nice. Okay. So actually, some of your clients, do you call them clients?
I make the mistake of calling them patients sometimes, because a lot of the people in our program are my past patients. What they are is people.
Okay. And actually, people at your facility somewhat help design some of these things.
A lot of the stuff you see here is devised by somebody.
Okay.
Somebody designed it originally. For example, this strap right here. This is a several years old strap called the Gripper golf strap. It's available commercially. You put the golf club in your hand and bring it around and strap. So it's not as specific as the glove. It's not exactly accurate. It just gives a little bit of help. You only want to modify to the least possible denominator. You don't want to have somebody who just has a little bit of grip strength in this massive device.
Okay.
The very least they need is what you give them.
Okay.
So that they can feel more independence.
I was going to ask you, these tees are the longest tees I've ever seen, so I want to know.
And they're available locally, like at Myers and Target.
Okay.
What they are, they're designed, again, we tried those with people who utilize like the sit-down card and sit-down golf. And even then, it works for some people, but it doesn't work for other people.
So this tee can go on the ground and doesn't have to go all the way down the ground normally.
Just
So
a half inch.
Okay, so this will support the ball, and a person can tee off from their cart, their wheelchair.
Again, it depends on their own
Okay.
personal swing.
That's good.
Certain swings require a higher tee to make better contact, some lower.
Okay.
This is just Velcro. This goes with the Global Glove. He sells these strips with the gloves so that you can put them on all your clubs, and then you just go to grip it and you've
So
got it.
Velcro plays a significant part.
And that pad that's on the ground is
This blue pad?
Yeah, is the non-slip pad that they sell like for carpeting, different things like that.
Okay.
They sell that locally, commercially, everywhere in every possible color now. And that has been a non-slip pad that works great. You could put that around your club, then put one of those Velcro grip in, and your hand isn't going to move.
Okay, so the pad you're putting where? I'm sorry.
No, you can utilize the pad. Like, for example, if a person had trouble with their feet slipping around, they could put their foot on a stool and put the Velcro, their feet on the Velcro, and their feet wouldn't move then. Or there's different things you can do depending what you need.
What is this?
Okay. Do you remember the gentleman that was in our video that was sitting in the Lake Geneva clinic? He was sitting there in the cart and demonstrating how to hit the ball using those RTS clubs. Now, he golfs himself independently and wanted to be as independent as possible. So what he did was he designed a way that he could tee up his own ball, set up his own ball, go on, play. He never has to have anybody tee his ball up. That's what a lot of times the helpers have to do, or the person you golf with. So what he does is that half of it has a shower ring attached to the hole. Can they see that, or do we need to pick that up?
You probably can pick that up, yeah.
Okay. Just pick up the whole piece. Whoa, we lost our ball. Oh well, no big deal. What they do is, this has like a shower ring hook on it. He takes this, he sees about how far he's going to swing, right? He throws it out to where it goes. He takes this tool and he adjusts it to exactly where he wants it to be, right? Then he takes the ball, sets it on this tool, sets the ball on the tee. You still going after that ball, Marcia?
Monica, you know, we've got to see this. I just want to make sure that the audience gets to really see this.
Then
they won't believe it if I don't do it.
After he has set that up where he wanted it, out in front of him, after he's set up, he then, it's on an angle. This is a foam ball, you guys. This is not fair. This is like one of those beat the clock tricks, okay? But you set it on.
She wins.
Then he goes, he sets this down in his car, picks up his club, gets all set up, hits the ball. Now, I don't want to scratch your table up here, but on the ground, he would just go to that metal ring, lift it right up, throw this in the back of his cart, and roll away, and off he goes, and he's never had any help.
Wow.
Tee the ball off.
Now, that means if you want to play by yourself, you don't feel like hauling a whole bunch of people around with you. It's just one of those days.
Or if you wanted to tee up the ball like at a golf range, he's got this tool. He just keeps getting his own ball and setting it up himself without having to have somebody go and lean over every few minutes. So then you don't get a frustrated family member who that's all they do is set the ball up for him.
Okay.
So, and like I said, this is available. If they would contact me, I can tell them the gentleman from, he's actually from Illinois, that designed this, and he makes them him himself. But again, it was something that he designed himself that works.
Okay. Now, are you under a nonprofit?
McLaren is a regional rehab center that's a nonprofit organization.
Well,
yep.
you may be more than welcome to give us your phone number.
Okay. If they want to get in contact with me about any of this equipment or more information on the golf pros I work with, it's 810-342-2360.
Okay. Okay. Now let's find out about these books and stuff and kind of tie up this. So is this strap for anything in particular?
Safety. I think something we should say. We always make sure that we have straps there for safety reasons.
Okay.
It's a transfer belt.
Strap you into your chair or whatever it may be. Or sometimes for stroke patients, if for balance, strap it on, and if you better make sure you know what you're doing. Might hold on. If it was strapped around Monica, I would hold her and stand behind and make sure I'm not getting hit with the golf club.
There's a certain way to do it.
Because a person might feel like they're going to fall, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And
Okay.
this way they're more stable, or they feel more safe.
So I'm counting on you to hold me up.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, remember, a lot of these people are just starting out in their recovery process as far as they're getting their strength back isn't complete either. They're starting to get back to it before they're even finally to the, because some people it takes like 2 years to get recovered from a
Golf
stroke.
can be a great way of rehabilitation.
It's a great tool right there. But for example, we had a lady who just had trouble with standing. Once she got her balance and was stationary, she was fine, but just to get up to that point. So then when she would swing the club, she'd lose it again because that's a dynamic movement. So we put the belt around the cart so that she could lean up against, and so she leaned against, hit the ball, leaned back against, got in the cart, totally free, totally independent, didn't need any assistance. Again, remember, a lot of our people do have balance problems that we work with.
Right.
Especially in our clinics, where we're talking about working, the therapists that we train in the morning, come in the afternoon and work with our clients.
So you actually have like a
They gotta be
therapy
careful.
class first
To teach.
to prepare them for what they're going to do and what they want to do.
We will go in there, and for the therapist, I will. The morning session is to help the therapist teach the students as far as golf and how they can improve. And in the afternoon, we bring the people in, and then we do more hands-on.
Okay.
So it's a free clinic in the afternoon.
That's exciting. Now, Monica, don't you have an upcoming event or something?
Yep, April 24th is our first clinic of the year, and it's going to be held at a combination of Pierce Park in the morning for the therapists and Inside Swing Golf Dome in the afternoon for the community people that want to get a free golf lesson to work on modifying their swing. Now, Inside Swing has been a sponsor, I have to mention, for 5.5 years for us. They allow us to come in and run this clinic once a year at their facility, and that's in Flint. And they give us all the balls we can hit for a 5-hour period, and that's pretty great when you think of. We usually help approximately 30 to 40 people each clinic, not the therapists. We're just talking the clinic, the community people that come through, and they come from all the way up north and all the way south. We even had somebody come from Indiana one time that heard about it.
So Joe, all the golf pros will be there themselves,
They'll be
teeing
volunteering
off,
in the afternoon to
getting
help
a
out.
free day. Okay.
Actually, this is their way of supporting Adaptive Golf's efforts, and none of the golf pros that I've worked with have ever gotten paid a penny, and they lovingly and freely give their time and their efforts and their energy. They're
That's
always willing to get advice, or if I call them up and have a question.
That's wonderful.
Because remember, it's a combination of skills. You've got the therapist who's trying to get them to hold on to the club and stand up long enough to swing it, and you've got the golf pro that teaches them the skill of improving their swing and actually hitting the ball.
The eye to know what needs to happen to get them to hit the ball better.
Okay. Okay. Well, you have to keep us posted about that event. This show will air in time to let the public know about it. So most definitely, we'll try to get some support out for you, and everybody get a chance to come up there. We'll try to come ourselves to see just what it's like to spend a day on the golf range. Okay. And we want to kind of like close this up. So the date again, Monica, is what date?
Is April 24th. That's a Friday. In 3 weeks.
Is there a rain date just in case or something?
No, because Inside Swing is an indoor facility.
Okay.
So actually, it's a big golf dome. So we're safe there.
Joe, you want to tell us anything or say hello to anyone?
Golf's for everyone. Remember, golf is a game. That's what it's meant to be enjoyed.
Well, that's
Gotta have fun with it.
That's a wonderful way to put it.
And to support the Michigan PGA, when we call and ask for information and advice, they send all the stuff, the materials that we need to teach our clinic, to teach our therapists how to instruct. At no cost to us do they send it on to us.
Okay, well, we will definitely give your phone number out, and we want to thank both of you so much for coming out. We look forward to seeing you we'll do our best to come up there, okay?
That'd be great.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, I'm Marsha Florence with Just Ask. And as always, if you know someone with a disability, don't be afraid to ask. Just ask. I'm your host, Marsha Florence. Please check our credits out for any of the phone numbers you may need, or call us if you need some information. Area code 248-988-0250 is our 24-hour production number. Any of the guests you've seen on our show, if you need to contact them, you can contact us, as well as you can look at the credits and find their addresses and phone numbers. Thank you. Good night.